Eric, again, thank you so much. You're a motivational speaker, founder of Team LeGrand, sports analyst, author. It's an honor to have you on the show today, man. I appreciate this.
Hey, thank you for having me on. I really do appreciate it as well.
I got to ask, you were just out there at Nasdaq, and you had your face out in Times Square. What was that experience like?
That was really cool, just to go to get that Nasdaq experience, to see, how the inside the trading world and the stocks work. And, you see it all on TV, but once you get in there, it's like, whoa, this is how it actually goes down. And then when they put my face in the middle of Times Square, like, how many times can you say that happens in your life? So
right.
I've had the opportunity to do it 2 times now, and every time it's pretty cool. Like you see the billboards as a kid growing up, and to see my face there, I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, we'd love to go back a little bit. For those who don't know your story, what happened to you when you were playing football there at Rutgers University, man?
I had a spinal cord injury suffered on October 16, 2010. We were actually playing the Army Black Knights. I was running down the field on the fourth quarter in the kickoff at MetLife Stadium here in New Jersey, and I put my head down the wrong way, thinking it wasn't going to be in the tackle at all. And unfortunately, the crown of my head went into the back of his shoulder blade because my teammate got down there and the guy got tripped up and his body twirled in the air, and that's what caused my accident. I remember being on the ground, I couldn't move and I couldn't breathe, and honestly, it was the scariest moment of my life.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, what's going through your mind in that moment? I mean, your interview on Ed Mylett Show, that you kind of felt like you were going to die in that moment, right?
I did. I'm sitting there. I'm like, is this the end of me? This is the end of my life. I'm laying there. I can't move. I can't breathe. I have the trainers asking me all these questions. All I'm worrying about is breathing. My head coach comes down, looks at me, tells me I have to pray. And honestly, when he says that to me, I'm thinking my life is over. And at one point, I did close my eyes on that turf, and I said, God, take me at ease. This is it.
Wow, man. But you now have done work with Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation. You've raised over $1 million for that foundation, which is awesome. You were a participant in the Neuro Recovery Network. What was that experience like?
Well, the Neuro Recovery Network is a treadmill where they have 2 people on your legs walking you and one on your waist, but you're in a harness on a treadmill that's holding up my body weight. And honestly, it's the best recovery, best, I should say, therapy that I've had during my recovery so far, because I did over 500 sessions on that treadmill. I regained back the ability to be able to sit up on my own and balance, not perfectly, but be able to balance myself on my own. My blood flow got better. I kept some muscle. My bone density was great. Just being able to stand up and walk on that treadmill, because it's just natural movement. The body doing its natural thing. And honestly, it has helped me so much in my recovery.
Man, that's amazing. And just a few months back, you just launched a Cornhole Tournament there in your hometown. Again, raising money for your foundation there. How did that go, man?
It went awesome. You never know what to expect when you're first launching an event. It was my first time ever doing it. I always say you got to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and I stepped out of my comfort zone. And I said that people love cornhole, especially in the summertime. Let's try this out. If we can raise some money for Team LeGrand. And honestly, it's a funny story. So we ordered 120 shirts, and we had to place that order in. There was only 15 teams signed up, so that's 30 people. So I'm like, all right, we got way too many shirts. This was 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out. The Monday before the tournament, we were at 28. I said, okay, that's going to be a great time. Everyone's going to have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So let's just say that hold on. Let's just say Saturday when the tournament started, we got up to 65 teams, and we ran out of T-shirts and everything. It blew my mind. I had no idea people were going to that many people were going to show up, and we had an incredible time. We had 3 different divisions, and we raised some funds for Team LeGrand, and we had a lot of fun with Dave and Buster's.
Man, so cool. I have played cornhole just a couple times. I scared some people last week. I sunk 2 in a row, and I was like, yes, and then I didn't miss. I didn't make it a single one for the rest of the time I was playing, so it was kind of...
you put the fear in the beginning, and then you're like, damn.
I said, hey, man, I'm a natural. Never happened again.
That is great.
Now, you have this really cool apparel line called Shop 52 with these new role model tees, which are kind of taken off online. What inspired you to start that apparel line?
Well, so many people over the years now since my entry have done shirts for me and made this, and wanted to do stuff with my foundation with T-shirts. so many people were like, Eric, why don't you start your own clothing line? And finally I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I was inspired by a good friend now, Devin Still, who used to play at Penn State, went on to the Cincinnati Bengals, and his daughter had cancer. She was childhood cancer, but she overcame it, stage 4 bone cancer.
Awesome.
And when I did his podcast, he's like, E, you need to have your own clothing line. And I was like, you know what? I put the icing on the cake. Everyone's been telling me that. I'm just going to do it. And I came up with a concept. I got a logo, graphic designer to design my new logo, the Believe 52, which is what, that's my motto, what I stand for.
Yeah.
So when we came up with Roma, I'm like, I want a cool shirt, something that is about me, that people can recognize me and think about me with. And I was like, role model, but no, I got to make it ROLL. And then one of my friends was like, E, you need to put the handicap sign as the O. And I was like, boom, that's got to happen. That's got to happen. Because, the inspiration comes from me, but also a little bit of the jokester side. And like you said, it has taken off. It's been less than 2 months, and it's been amazing, man.
Wow. Man, I love it, dude. Love it. You seem to just be extremely busy all the time. What's next for Eric LeGrand?
Yeah, right now we're in the middle of football season, so I do a lot of my radio gigs with this. So I work for the Rutgers Football Network, the radio network, and I'd go to all the games, all the home games, and do the show on there. And then also I do the pregame, halftime, and postgame for the Road Girls. I work a coach's radio show on Wednesday nights, which has been amazing. And then from there, I do stuff with the Big Ten Network, ESPN Radio, and Sirius XM, breaking out all of college football. So that's what keeps me pretty much busy all through the fall and through that last part of the year and during football season.
That's awesome. Now, where are you based out of?
I'm based out of New Jersey. I rebuilt my childhood house that I grew up in Avenel, New Jersey, and I'm still here.
Oh, awesome, man. So cool, dude. Wanted to transition just some fun questions there for you. You have this really beautiful dog. I think it even has its own Instagram account. But what's your dog's name?
My dog's name is Diesel. That's funny that you say that. He's a Cane Corso, which is an Italian breed from southern Italy that actually just got introduced to the States about 30 years ago.
Oh,
and
okay.
I remember I had a Rottweiler before that, and he passed away from cancer at 10 and a half back in January of 2016. I wanted another dog, another big dog.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was looking one day and I was reading an article on the Players Tribune, and I saw Derek Jeter, the New York Yankees baseball player, his dog. I'm like, what is that? Like I'd never seen that. And I ended up being able to Google it because in the article it had the name, and I never heard Cane Corso. So I looked and I saw that dog on Google. I was like, oh, yeah, I need that. That's a bad looking dog. So I researched it, and now I have Diesel, and he's probably the nicest dog I've ever had. I always say my first dog I had was the laziest dog. I had a little Shih Tzu when I grew up. Then I got my Rottweiler, and I call my Rottweiler gangster. He didn't care what you say to him. He did what he wanted to do. And now Diesel is the most loving, just caring. He wants to please you, and he's a 140-pound mush.
Wow, man. Sounds like an awesome dog, though.
He really is great.
Do you have a favorite type of music or favorite band that you listen to?
Honestly, I'm into everything. You can have me listen to the hardest of hardcore of rap, all the way down to some classic 80s rock.
Okay.
I haven't gotten into the countryside yet, but I've EDM. When I go out to the house music at the clubs, I'm down to pop music, R&B, whatever's on the radio at the time you throw on. I'm down to listening to. I really am. I'm a very well-rounded when it comes to music. Just haven't gotten into the country yet. We'll see one day.
That's awesome. Now, I think you're in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your favorite wrestler?
Oh, I have 3 of all time. My favorite. So I'll start with go from 3 to 2. 3 to 1. Third one is a funny one, Kane. Okay. Everyone laughs at me when I say Kane. I like him because he's 6'11", steps over the high rope, got the fire coming out, and every time he comes out, everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's Kane!" like that. I used to love that. And then number 2 is Stone Cold, because come on, everyone, you gotta love Stone Cold Steve Austin. That is my guy. And then number 1 is The Rock, because he is the people's champ. No one can work a crowd like The Rock can work a crowd. It truly is amazing. Man. I love that. I love everything that he's doing. He's really turned into something special in this entire world.
Absolutely. I actually have a funny story. I used to have a roommate, and he was a wrestler, and he went by the name of Mr. Sexy. And Mr. Sexy would wear these booty shorts that said, "Too damn sexy." And one time he said, "Hey, Eric, come out and do the music for our event because our guide can't show up." So this was back in 2003 where I actually had physical discs that I had to put in this machine. And I had the paper track. It said, "Okay, play track 11 when this guy walks out." And so I hit play, and it starts playing South Park's "Blame Canada" as my roommate is walking out to the cage. And he was guest referee for that night or for that match. And I thought, oh, maybe that's just the music for him. And the ref looks at me and he's going like this. He's telling me, cut it. And then so I quickly realized I made a mistake and I put in the real song. Well, the whole promotion is ran by a bunch of Canadians. So everybody in the crowd's just like booing me.
What a story right there. With all the Canadians, I had no idea I was going to be there.
Never got invited back. I don't know why. But
I'm sure.
But so you've met a ton of celebrities. Is there anyone that you ever met that you were just like starstruck?
Well, let's just say I haven't met him, but I was in the presence of him twice, and that's Michael Jordan. I don't know why I froze with him. And like I said, I've met a ton of celebrities. I've been around them, and usually when I make eye contact with them, they either realize who I am or they know something. What's up, and they come over. Michael Jordan. I remember being down in the basement of the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and I remember he comes out of this Escalade. His whole family gets out first, and then boom, Michael Jordan's right there, and I'm looking. I'm like, and I want to roll over there. And I remember he looks at me, and then I'm like, and I didn't like usually I'd be like, hey, and I froze. I was like, and he turned around and started walking up the hallway.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh my god! And then it happened again twice. I'm like, next time I'm going to do it. It happened again twice, and I'm like, you know what? It's just not meant to be because every time I see this guy, I freeze up and I don't know what to say.
Well, someday I hope that comes true for you, man. Wanted to give an opportunity to just give a shout out to anybody you'd like on the video. If you wanted to give a shout out to family or friends or whoever, the video is all yours, man.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I do want to give a shout out to my family, my friends, and my supporters that never even got to meet me before. But when a situation like this happens to me, a lot of times you can either give up, which a lot of people do, or you can fight the battle. And I've been fighting it since October 16, 2010. And the community of people that have believed in me and supported me and wished me well and just want to do anything to see me smile. I can't thank them enough because honestly, they keep me going. They keep me motivated, and this is the reason why I am where I am today.
Man, Eric, it's an honor to talk to you, man. You are a world changer, brother, out there inspiring and motivating tons of people. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much for hanging around. Really appreciate it. If you'd like to see more videos from Top Rated MMA and the Bearded Biz Show, please click the playlist and also hit subscribe to our channel. Become part of the Top Rated MMA and Bearded Biz community. We would really appreciate your support. Also, please leave a comment below. I will read and respond to all of them. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.